All right, another episode of Conversating After Dark. Tay, what's up with you?
Everything's great with me. What's going on with you?
It's all good. It's all good. Tell people they can find us.
You can find us at Conversates After Dark everywhere. And if you want to be a guest on the show or you have a topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at CVAD, the podcast at gmail.com.
That's right. Go to our website, www.conversatingafterdark.com. Listen to our past episodes. Make sure you tell a friend. So, Tay, let's start off with the icebreaker.
All right. Would you rather daily quickies or scheduled all-nighters?
Mm, how many scheduled? Because, like I said, man, I was just talking to some friends about this. Actually, I was talking to my cousin about it. At the age that we are at right now, um, black women in their mid to late 40s. I said it before, you can't fuck them enough. And I just don't want that type of quantity. I'd rather have some quality. So if I could schedule, look, 3 times a week and we have like a real nice bomb session, I'm good with that. So I'm gonna say schedule. It ain't gonna be all night either. We're gonna have a like
That's the stipulations. It's either a quickie or all-nighter.
we're gonna have a nice foreplay situation. We're gonna build it up real nice, and then we're gonna do our thing, and then that's it. But all night, I ain't did it all night since I was like in my teenage, early 20 years. Come on now.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna go for the all nighter every time. If I can get an all nighter, that's what I'm gonna go for. And for me, it hasn't been because of age. This has always been me. So,
You greedy.
what you say?
You greedy.
I've told people that. Yes, I will take that. I am greedy in many ways. I am very greedy.
Danielle said all night. I don't know about all of that. I need a nap. That might be I don't know. Is sex drive not being compatible? Would you consider that a red flag?
Uh, I don't consider it a red flag. I think that's more of a preference thing because I do believe that depending on the mentality of the people involved, you can work around that. As long as somebody's not too low and the other person's too high. I think anything else in between can be worked out.
Okay, so I've said what's ideal for me. What's ideal for you?
In terms of frequency,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Keep it real.
I've been in situations where it was almost every day. That was great for me. They weren't all-nighters though. I'll
Okay.
say. If we're talking about all-nighters, I can do a good all-nighter 2 or 3 times a week.
No, no, not an all-nighter. Just a regular,
Okay, just regular.
just regular sessions, because we got to go to work in the morning, or we had a long day at work. Come on.
I'll say 5 times a week, and that's on the low end.
So, what if you meet a guy? Y'all hit off your personalities, y'all hit off, y'all enjoy being around each other, and he's more on the 1 to 2 times a week. Is that gonna work?
Depends on his other qualities. I can say this. Uh, I have not, or I should say, it's been a long time since I've been with somebody who could that I needed to step up my game for. That's very few people. Matter of fact, it may have only been one person that I've had to step up for. I'm usually the one lowering for the other person. So depending on what his other qualities are, I could deal with that. But that 1 or 2 times gotta be bomb though. It can't be mediocre.
So when you say like you got to step down or step back, are you meaning you have to limit the amount of times you want to do it? Is that what you mean by that?
Uh, the length of time per set for the sessions and frequency of the sessions.
Okay. Okay.
Everything, pretty
But you
much.
ain't, that's not a deal breaker though.
Depending on his other qualities, it does not have to be a deal breaker as long as when we do get it in, my world is I feel like my world is rocked.
Danielle said it's a yellow flag, and she said daily would be great, a combo of regular and quickie sessions. I'd settle for 4 or 5 though. She'd settle for 4 or 5 though.
That's what I'm saying.
And then she said like exactly, Tay, better be bomb. So what defines a quickie?
I say anything 15 minutes or less is a quickie in my book. I'm not just talking about the actual intercourse. I'm talking about the whole shebang.
Okay, okay. The whole shebang. So 15, look, 15 minutes some good fucking. That ain't no damn quickie.
If you're talking about strictly intercourse, yes, 15 minutes it can be a long time, can be a long time. But that's why I said I'm not just talking about just that. I'm talking about the whole
Okay. Okay.
when y'all first,
Yeah.
interact.
Foreplay and everything else. Okay.
Yeah.
Darius says age matters too. 30s, 5 times per week. 40s, 3 days per week. 50s, two in the possible. 60s, week, WEAK. That's funny. Danielle said 20 pumps. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 20 pumps definitely a quickie.
Yeah.
That's definitely a quickie. You 20 pumps trying to put it in. For sure. So okay, so that we talked about that possibly being a red flag. As we get older, as we progress in life, have your red flags changed as a person in terms of like, what you see in somebody like, oh no, I can't do that. Because like I said on the show before, I'm divorced. And one of the things that people who have been divorced say is that, when you start looking for a new relationship, many people can say, I don't know what I want, but I definitely know what I don't want. So, what red flags do you have? And has that evolved as you've gotten older? Just give me one or two.
Um, if we're talking about something that's evolved and changed, I would say when I was younger, I needed a phone call every single day.
Mhm.
Every single day. But the older I get, the more I realize I don't like talking on the phone. So I'm one of them people, if we have a text conversation that lasts all day long, I'm good. I don't need to talk on the phone every single day.
And you can still feel a connection, but by just texting.
As I always have stipulations, as long as when we're together, our connection is like that connection is there, that vibe is there. I don't need to talk on the phone every single day.
Okay. Okay. So, that was a red flag before. Like if he didn't talk to
Yeah.
you.
I remember being in a relationship and he was not a phone person. And I was like, I need to hear from you every single day. I don't care what, even if it's just to say, hey, how you doing? Bye. I needed to hear from him every single day. But yeah, that's not a big deal anymore.
Where did that come from?
You know what? I don't know. Because I've never really been a phone person. Like, I didn't, growing up, I never had a phone curfew. I wasn't one of those girls who had a phone curfew because my mother never saw the need to give me one because I didn't talk on the phone that much. Like, so I don't know where that came from. I think maybe it was maybe what I thought you were supposed to do in a relationship. Or it could have been because of my very first relationship, my college boyfriend. Like we were together almost every single day, so it could have come from that was just something I was used to,
Mhm.
seeing and being around somebody every single day. I think I needed that connection every single day. But yeah, the older I get, the more of my introversion comes out.
Mhm.
My introverted self comes out, and yeah, I don't need that.
I get it. Danielle said, I never wanted to talk on the phone much. Definitely have to communicate though. Texting is good for me.
Yeah.
See, for me, when it comes to that, then I'll get my red flag. The last few relationships I've had, the it's like the sharing of memes. Like, Lord have mercy, I got some friends. I got one friend in particular. She memes me to death all day long. And I got her trained just to send them to my Instagram inbox because like I'm real OCD about my notifications. I don't like having no notifications on my shit. The only notification that you have that I'll have is my voicemail because I don't check voicemails. Like text me. Don't leave a voicemail. I'm not gonna listen to it. Text me.
Okay.
Um, so she sends, and I got like a lot of times I just open up the inbox so the notification will go away, and then I'll close it out because I'm not looking at all these damn stuff. Like I'll share something like that's meaningful. You know, like every now and again I'll send you something, Tay, and it'll be like something I know that we're gonna laugh at, and that's it.
Hmm.
But if it's like all day long, my best friend, he's like that. He be sending stuff all day long. I'd be like, Dog, I get sick of hearing all this. I don't want to see this shit. Now, I got a couple of friends who we respect the meme sharing. So it's one every other day or something like that. If we going all day sharing stuff, that's relationship status to me. That's,
Okay.
we kind of laughing together about different things or what have you. Then some text messages intermixed between like joking and that's how we keep that connection. But yeah, I don't even talk on the phone every day either. Like, because when you first start the relationship, yeah, you want to talk and get to know each other, hear each other's voice. But after a while, you're just like, you gonna sit there and hold the phone? Like, I don't. You want to call? Look, I can sit here and watch my little nerdy Game of Thrones videos and text you, but I can't watch that while you on the phone with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to
Exactly.
veg out. So leave me alone.
Exactly. When my phone is ringing, it annoys me because I'm like, I can't do what I'm in the middle of doing if
Yeah,
I gotta talk to you.
yeah, yeah. My red flag is if how should I say this? If I feel like you are trying to play me, or if I feel like I'm going to go out like a sucker, I will pull all the way back immediately. Um, and that comes, I hate to call it a trauma response because everybody calls everything a trauma response. But I mean, technically it was traumatic. I'll tell the story. My very first like real girlfriend in high school, I was in love because, it's puppy love. And we talk on the phone all the time. And we would like make appointments to meet each other. Like, hey, your sister take you to the mall, and then I have my brother take me to the mall, so we can, so y'all can walk around the mall, hold hands, and
Hmm.
different stuff like that. Well, we were talking on the phone so much, she wasn't doing her schoolwork, so she was flunking her classes, so her mama didn't put her on punishment, so we couldn't talk no more. And this lasted, and we didn't go to the same high school. So this lasted for a while. The next thing what they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Nah,
Hmm.
I just made the other dude's dick grow bigger because she started talking to other people, you know. But I still had that love in my heart for her. And then, parents say things that they think are like will help you get past it, but they
Hmm.
really are doing something to your detriment by saying this. And my mom said one thing. She was like, I think eventually y'all would get back together. So instead of her being like, hey, move on, she was like, I think eventually y'all get back together. So now fast forward, whenever I would see her, I was being annoying because she was past the relationship and
Yeah.
I was still caught up on the relationship. So, and when you're younger, you don't know how to like really like communicate stuff. At least I didn't. And there was a couple times where she like kind of like tried to clown me and embarrass me in public. And it took me a while till I eventually got some nuts and some pride. And I was just like, I'm done. And but the crazy thing was, even though she was clowning me in public, she would still call me because she wanted that friendship behind the scenes. And I cut it all the way off. And
Yeah.
so like the times I would answer my phone, she was like, hey, what you doing? I'm like, let me call you back. Let me call you back. Till like one day she called and she just was bawling, crying, like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for, treating you that way. I'm sorry. But ever since then, if I feel like you trying to play me or I'm going out like a sucker, I'm done. And my boys be like, yo, you fall in love quick, but you fall out of love quicker. you know? And I don't know how to make that red flag a positive. Because I may be missing out on some good relationships by acting that way. I don't know what you think.
Um,
Because I'm not giving nobody no grace. Like it's to the point like if I call you or I text you and you don't respond, then the relationship's over right there.
mhm.
Tag you're it. Because my boy be like, well, damn, you called. I said, I called her. She saw I called. She ain't call me back. So fuck her. He was like, dude, you can call her again. I'm like, nah, I ain't sweating her. It's not sweating her, Marv. Maybe she was busy, whatever. I don't forget when somebody called me. Am I tripping?
Uh, I would say I do believe that people deserve grace maybe a couple times. After that, then yeah, it becomes a pattern. It becomes a pattern. So I and I am somebody who doesn't always give grace. So I mean that is something I'm evolving on and I don't know if I should. I don't know. It's a two-way thing for me. Sometimes I give people too much grace, and in some things I don't give people grace at all. Like lying, I don't give people grace at all. But but when people make things that I can look back on and say, well, that was a mistake or something like that, I will give grace. And I have in my past, I noticed that I have given grace in things that I maybe shouldn't have. You know, I don't know. So I don't know how to answer that question for you because.
I just feel like, and just speaking from my experience, and you and everybody in the chat can say from a woman's experience. I feel like when a woman is full of shit or when they are non-committal, then that means that they're really not that into you. When a woman likes you, she gonna call you back. She's not gonna forget that you called. She'll send you a text, hey, I'm kind of busy. I'm gonna call you back later. You good? She is gonna make sure that hey, I got this motherfucker on the hook. I'm gonna keep him on the hook. When she ain't really tripping on whether she got you or not, then that's when that type of shit happens. And you ask them like, yo, can we hang out? And it's like, oh well, and it's all that. I've learned that non-answer, not a no, but just a non-answer, like, oh, well, let me see all that old bullshit. That's a fucking no. She ain't really into you. And if she is, when she does finally say, hey, let's hang out, it's because she's bored.
I will agree with you that a non-answer is typically a no. Because I am somebody who I don't like a lot of people, but I don't like to hurt people's feelings either. So I give a lot of non-answers all the time. And it usually means, yeah, I'm not interested. So I will give you that. But the phone call thing, and I'm saying this as somebody who doesn't like to talk on the phone. I forget to call people back all the time because I don't typically use my phone to talk. I don't know. I mean, that's just me though.
And it's more like I got a homegirl. And I told her, I said, dude, if we weren't just friends, I really would be like, fuck you. Because like she's the queen of, oh my God, I thought I sent this text. Now when chicks be doing that shit,
That's a lie.
they full of shit. They full of shit. She was like, I typed this message and I forgot to hit send. Shut up. Shut up. And her and I
A
had
couple
nothing going
times,
on.
yes.
Her and I had so she may be telling the truth because there's nothing going on between her and I, but fuck you, man. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you just now like, well, let me go ahead and respond.
I mean, I've done that a few times, but if that's I see, I look at patterns. If I look at something and I see a pattern, that's you. That's not a coincidence now. That's just you.
Yeah. Um, we was talking about offline. There's a show. What's that show called, Tay? Is it Married? What's the show? I shared the little clip.
Oh, Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. And you talked about how like you give them like those non-committal answers. I feel like I definitely know how to say no, but I'm with you on not wanting to hurt people's feelings. So just um, being very candid without being mean, I feel like that's something that I need to like develop because there's just some times with some people I just need to say what I want to say, and I don't want to crush. Like I have a hard time feeling like I'm going to crush somebody's spirit, so I try to like make it easy. But I'm just tormenting myself by doing that shit. I just need to tell him what, just tell him how it is. Because when that brother, when he told that girl, hey, look, I didn't cook for your family, and then I had to do the dishes. So he said there is no scenario where I see us being together, so I don't want to see you again. And I felt like, yeah, what he was saying could have been deemed as harsh. Um, but he wasn't mean with it. He was just matter of fact. And
Mhm.
it's tough when you're like talking about a relationship situation to be matter of fact like that because it like really stings when somebody gives it to you that way. But I feel like that's a skill set that I need to develop because, a lot of people need to start leaving me alone. For real.
Yeah, I get that.
What made it so fucked up on that whole train of thought when he walked off and she started grabbing some food and eating it, I was like, nah, that's a natural response, right? But she gonna regret that shit.
Why you say she gonna regret it?
Because everybody's been sharing that on social media on repeat. And everybody's talking about, damn, she started what they call it when you eat to try to get a relationship. Oh gosh. Something eating. Fuck. You know what I'm talking about, Tay. When you eat when your heart is broken.
Oh, emotional eating?
Yeah, they was like she
Okay.
started emotional eating ASAP.
Well, she was eating through the whole scene.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like, when he told her, because I do watch the show, when he told her they needed to talk, she had just taken something out of the microwave. So, when she came over to talk, she was eating. And through his whole conversation with her, she was eating. So, it wasn't that she just started eating because he hurt her feelings.
Okay. Well, and that's why I was trying to ask people because like I didn't know the context and I didn't know if he was being unreasonable and how he was talking to her because I don't watch those reality shows, so I didn't know what led up to it or anything else. My main thing was, and what I felt like, damn, I kind of want to emulate that. Is this, hey man, you can be matter of fact and not be hurtful. Uh,
Hmm.
Probably save yourself a lot of heartache. Because I think that one thing that's been a downfall of mine is I'm a silent withdrawer. You know what that means?
Hmm.
I'm not gonna tell you like, hey, little bitch, you full of shit. I'm tired of you. You getting on my nerves, whatever. I'm just gonna kind of, I'm just gonna kind of quietly ease back. Because number one, I'm not real big on confrontations. Like I'm a confrontational motherfucker when it comes to like certain situations, certain type of people. But with the woman that I'm dating or whatever, I don't need no conflict. I want peace. I want you to make me feel good, emotionally, mentally, physically. And if we got to go back and forth and have all these arguments and shit, we cool or dirty, you know.
Yeah, I have this thing like when it's really when it comes to guys who are trying to talk to me. I can be very matter of fact. I can be short. I can talk to you like you dumb as hell.
I, you
But
know, you know why I believe you because you do that to me all the fucking time.
I do not do that to you. No, no, no. If you think how I talk to you is bad, then you are extremely sensitive because I'm telling you, I'm not. I think we had what one argument in person. We were in Cuba.
Did we argue?
Um,
No, that was a group argument. Y'all was teaming up on me. But no,
no, we weren't teaming up on you. And I didn't like how you came at me specifically because you heard my name in the situation that happened. But anyway, other than that, I feel like you and I have a pretty good, pretty good relationship. I don't feel like I talk to you crazy.
you don't.
Okay,
I'm not. I don't want to mischaracterize you, but I can see how you are very matter of fact, how you have the potential to do that.
right.
Like from when I first met you, because you don't talk a lot outside of the podcast situation or maybe like on one-on-one situations. Like if it's just like me and you hanging out, yeah, you talk, right? Because I'm a fucking talker and you match my energy. But when I first met you, I was like, oh, she's all quiet, So, and automatically a lot of times people think, I guess it's one or two things. If a person's quiet, they either think she's stuck up or she's really sweet. You don't carry yourself in a stuck up fashion, right? So automatically it goes to, oh, she's meek and mild and she doesn't talk a whole bunch. Shit. No, that is not the case. So
But this is where I was going with that. So I come from a family, I say this all the time. I come from a family where sarcasm is our love language. We do. I always say you around my family for longer than 5 minutes, somebody gonna make fun of you. You gonna be the joke. You gonna be the butt of the joke at some point in time. So that sarcasm, that clowning people, that being short with people, because it's not just in a funny way. Because my grandfather will, I mean, he will talk to you like you're crazy. Like I get it honestly. And growing up, my mother really tried to get that out of me, and I think it was to my detriment. And I say that because, so like when I first meet a guy, I'm always short with him. Like, what you trying to do? I don't trust you. Get it, what I'm gonna talk to you like you crazy. What's up? But once I start caring about somebody, then I don't, that's when the I don't want to hurt their feelings comes in. And then I don't know how to bring that sharp. It can still come out, but if I feel like something I say is going to hurt somebody's feelings and I don't know how to say it nicely, I tend to hold a lot of things in.
me too.
That's why I say with my mother and discipline, I sometimes think it may have been to my detriment because I don't always stand up for myself when I need to.
Okay. So obviously you and I are friends, no relationship shit at all. So there's a difference. So in a relationship, do you feel like you could be considered a mean person because of your matter of factness or being candid with how you talk to people?
In relationships, no, not at all. Matter of fact, matter of fact, I've come to this
When you start
conclusion.
off, you said when you start off, you're very short.
But
Does
the
that
guys
come off as
who,
mean?
no, no, well, it's not read that way. I think because I tend to come across as this meek and mild person, I think a lot of guys think it's funny. And I think that attracts guys. The fact that I can be witty, I can, if you say something to me, I'm gonna come right back at you. But again, it becomes a detriment in relationships if you're with somebody and they tend to come off as, I won't say a yes person, but somebody who doesn't stick up for themselves, that can be looked at as a weakness. So I think the sharp tongue, the sarcasm tends to draw people in, but then that part of me where it's like, okay, I don't want to hurt your feelings. If I'm being serious, that part can kind of push people away. I've seen both of those.
Do you think guys are sensitive in general?
uh yes and no. Yes and no. Um I I do think sometimes yes, and I think the reason why I don't always like men who are extra sensitive is because I didn't see that in my father. So I just said my grandfather can be mean. So
Well,
I didn't grow up with men who were sensitive. So, and I'm not a sensitive person. Like I'm not the type of chick who's going to cry. Like, I mean, it takes a whole lot for me to cry. So if I'm with a guy and he tends to show emotions more than me, it's when I was younger. I'm better now, but when I was younger, it was like, oh,
you
I don't
you
like that. That
you
Ralph Tresvant song annoyed me. I hated that song.
you was really kind of tiptoeing around that because I'm a sensitive motherfucker. I think I don't care, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing: a lot of people feel like just because somebody is sensitive, that means that they soft. That is not the fucking case. Yes, my feelings definitely get hurt easily. Yes, I can get triggered easily. But that definitely don't mean that, it's soft or sweet with some people. Some people it is, right? But I feel like, so like my homegirl, the one I was talking about earlier, she was like, guys are sensitive and men are so sensitive. People always talk about, they generalize about the genders. And one of the things people like to say is the fragility of the male ego. And I'd be like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have egos. We all can be sensitive, men, women, whatever. Okay. Well, she was talking about how like men are so sensitive. And then finally I had to just tell her, it's like, well, there's one common denominator here, and it's you. So if you pissing everybody off, and I don't call women the B word, I said, but you need to stop acting like a bitch and trying to justify it by just saying, hey, well, I'm keeping it real. Hey, I'm sarcastic. Hey, I don't mince words. Okay, well then you're gonna be alone doing that bullshit. You need to adjust to
Mhm.
how people want to be communicated with. Some people may like that. They may like the playful, witty banner, and I could deal with it for a while. But then sometimes I'd be like, all right, man, shut the fuck up with that shit. I don't feel like hearing
Which
it.
is why I tend to date guys who have a sense of humor like my father. My mother pointed that out to me when I was younger. But it's true because they can, if I feel like if they can take me, they can take my family. I don't know. It's just
Okay.
and then like I said, I've dated guys who have that. So it's a give and take thing. It's not just a me giving it to them. It's a back and forth thing.
So do the opinion of your family matter to you when it comes to who you're dating?
Does their opinion matter to me?
So like if
Yes.
you bring a guy to the family function,
Hmm.
number one, you talked about your father a lot, obviously. But is there anybody else that's still living who they could pull you to the side and be like, hey, come here. Like, nah, he ain't gonna work.
Um,
And would you listen?
if the men in my life said that, then yeah, I would listen because my family is not the type to get involved. So if they, other than my mother, if anybody else in my family, or my father's side, I should say, let me say that, because my mother's side, they can be a little judgy. But if anybody and most of the men in my family on my father's side, if any of them pulled me aside and said, "Hey, this dude ain't something ain't right here," I would listen because they don't get involved like that. So if they felt the need to get involved, something's not right.
My cousins, they I don't just really like jump in because number one, I know that even if I say something, they're probably gonna do what they want to do anyway. Because 9 times out of 10, by the time I've met him, she already in love. So, y'all don't typically, sometimes, you don't bring somebody around your family if it's not somewhat serious, you know? So I've had girl cousins and I was like, hey, look, he ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That's not you. You need to do better than that. And then I've also told them, hey, listen, you need to change up how you living because I don't like how you are treating him.
Hmm.
I'm that type of cousin where I give that, cousin. I don't have any sisters, so it's all my cousins that I give that type of feedback to, and I think that they listen. But I've learned not to really get into my girl cousins' relationships, even my daughters, because thankfully, at least not to my knowledge, my daughters haven't been in any like, domestic violence situations or anything like that. But I've had cousins who were involved in some shit, and it's like you get involved trying to protect them, and then next thing you know, she mad at you because you done stepped to her dude. I've even had a situation where, my cousin finding a dude and me and my other, male cousins go to, get him straight. And next thing you know, both of them fighting us.
Oh wow.
So after that, I'm like, oh, hell no. Saying, because number one, I may come to your rescue. He kicking your ass. He might kick my ass too. You know? And
Yeah.
you go, nah, I'm good, man. Unless you tell me you ready to leave, then I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah, well, thankfully, I've never been in a situation like that. Um, well, like I said, if one of the men in my life that I respect had something to say, I would listen. I remember when I was dating this guy and he was coming to church with me, and my pastor, who I respect as one of the men in my life, pulled him aside and talked to him, and his reaction kind of, I mean, relationship didn't work out, of course. I mean, obviously, but but at that time it actually drew me near because he didn't take offense to it. You know, he took it like a like I feel like a man. So it actually made me fall for him more, you know.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you listen to the women in your life?
Mhm.
What?
But I mean,
Okay, so take away you, take away your personal situation.
mhm,
I feel like we as black people, we all could all of us could probably use better role models.
mhm,
I've had good male role models, and I've had some that that didn't model the right behaviors, and more than likely they didn't model right behaviors because they wasn't modeled to them in terms of how you treat women, relationships, being faithful, all that situation. But as I got older, there are men in my life that are like, hey, listen, you know, this is not how you treat your wife. And I'm not talking about like beating on her or anything like that, but just the whole, like when I first got married, I had this whole my way or the highway type deal. I'm the man of the house. Everybody gonna listen to what I say. And then there were some guys who was like, yo, man, you really don't have to flex your authority all the time. You probably could get more if you were more loving and caring instead of trying to be this authority figure in your household. And it really helped me. But I noticed from the women that I know, not many of them have those those aunties that'll pull you to the side and be like, hey, don't talk to your man like that. Don't do this. Don't do that. And I think that that's a problem for a,
well,
for a good number of women.
since when you put it that way, I will say, and again, I don't know if it's because of my personality or just how I took the advice. I'm not sure if it's a well in this way that I'm going to get ready to the example I'm getting ready to say it was a good thing, but then again I don't know if it might have been a detriment. I've already talked about my smart mouth, so my college boyfriend he did get the raw and uncut Shantae. And my mother was the one who was like, okay, you can't go around emasculating a man, blah, 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 blah. So that part, in terms of advice, that part from I did get from her, you know, not in terms of talking. But again, I kind of put that through my whole life, so I don't always speak up when I need to because I feel like the way I say, I'm not sure if the way I'm saying something will be emasculating.
I had to tell my oldest daughter about that. I came home one day and this guy she was in a relationship with, he's kind of a clown. And she was on the phone giving him the business. Like she was like, I was like, damn, I wouldn't let no woman talk to me like that. I'd have been hung up. And then a few days later, I called her and I was like, where you at? And she was like, I'm out with so and so, the guy who she was giving the business to. And I was like, when she got home, I said, listen, let me tell you something. You don't need to talk to a man like that. Not as far as she took it. And the reason why I told her that was because I said, don't assume just because I'm a good man that there's other men out here aren't fucked up. And there's some men out here, you talk to them crazy like that, they'll go upside your goddamn head. Or they'll take you somewhere I'll never find you again. That's that fragile male ego where cats don't know how to respond to a woman talking crazy to them. You just walk away.
Hmm.
But I had to tell her, like you got to be real careful when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Real. But, like you said, I think it's some of the things that our parents tell us when it comes to relationships. Like I remember my mom talking about, what kind of man would your dad be if I talked to him this way? And that kind of shaped my whole, perspective on you can't talk to me crazy if I'm the husband. Like, shut the fuck up and do what I say. And then I realized that's wrong, right? So
Yeah.
parents can really, they have best intentions. They really can mess you up. Like,
Yeah.
I know a girl, like her father told her, the first person you sleep with, basically you're married to that person. Y'all gonna have a soul tie for the rest of your life. And she went through a good portion of her life making herself look stupid for this dude that did not want her because she felt like in God's eyes, we're married because he took my virginity and we slept together.
Mm. Wow.
That's a true story.
Yeah, I mean, no, I believe it. Growing up in church, I've definitely heard that said to people, but it wasn't something that I uh took with me.
That's something that wasn't just one cuckoo parent. That's something that's
No, I've heard that, and I won't necessarily say in my church, but growing up churchy, you kind of you meet other people who are churchy, and the stories are the same.
mm,
People on the West Coast, people down south, people up north, certain denominations
mm,
all kind of say the same,
yeah,
same things.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know, man. I think I'm trying to work on those red flags because like I said, at this age, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't know what red flags I may be triggering in people, but we'll see. Maybe I can try to turn some of those red flags into green flags.
I do think that everything is worth a conversation though. So in terms of the clip we were talking about from Love is Blind, I do believe his reasons for not wanting to be with her were valid. But I do agree with her. Well, I think he had some reasons that happened prior to that scene.
Hmm.
But the reasons he brought up in that scene, I agree with her that though that could have been a conversation. And the reason why I say that is because we all grow up different. You don't know what this person learns when they're growing up versus what you may have learned or this other person may have learned. So everybody's not going to come to the table agreeing on everything. Yeah, there may be some things that for me, oh, that's common knowledge, but for somebody else, it might not be. So I do think some things in terms of people's maybe not the red flags, maybe the yellow flags or the pink flags. Some things may be worth a conversation. And sometimes those flags may be able to turn colors from red to whatever. Just put that out there.
Yeah,
And then sometimes they need to stay red.
I feel you. I think that for me personally, I I struggle having those conversations um, because I've been in relationships where people didn't receive that type of feedback well. I don't like people that, when you say, hey, listen, when you did this, this is how that made me feel. And their first response is, well, you do this and you do that. Um,
Mhm.
and that's more common than, than people would think. But I think because I've dealt with that type of response for so long, in those type of confrontations, those conversations, they're a hard thing for me to do, and that's something that I got to get past because we need to talk. You could be throwing away a good relationship by just saying, nah, nah, we ain't gonna work, we ain't compatible.
That's
I'm
true.
quick to say, like, nah, we ain't compatible. Nah, I could,
That's
we
true.
could. Like shit. I met a chick. Everybody knows I don't fuck with women that wear wedges. I don't. That's a no go for me at all. I also do not like loud eaters. That no, I'm not dealing with that shit. And I went out with a girl. She's a beautiful woman. And while we were waiting to order our food, she was popping her gum like loud, like imagine the stereotypical ghetto chick popping her gum. That's how
Hmm.
she was popping her gum, and this motherfucker had multiple degrees, highly accomplished. Every she really she checked off a lot of boxes, but because she was popping that damn gum like a damn slave, I thought, like, no, this ain't gonna work. Now, I probably could have had a conversation and be like, hey, could you, whatever, but nah, I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't like loud eaters either. And I did date a guy. And actually, now that I look back on it, I don't know how we got to how long we actually dated because that annoyed me. I don't remember him eating like that when we first met. I don't remember it. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway,
Y'all probably, let me ask you, y'all probably when y'all were, y'all used to eat out on dates. So then so when you get on a like one-on-one situation, like if somebody's a loud eater, unless they're like super ridiculous with it, in a public setting, there's a lot of like background noise or whatever, and I can't hear you like, eating, that's fine. Because I got a
no,
friend,
our first date was actually at his house. He got crabs. So that's the yeah.
he should have been, if he's a loud eater, that's the worst right there.
Yeah, I don't know. So
He
but
was,
anyway,
he was
so
wearing a mask. He was wearing a mask. He was trying to, then he got comfortable and started slurping and smacking and shit.
I guess so. But I mean, fast forward 2 years later, I just say, hey, the eating. I can't deal with it. He would stop chewing with it. Because what causes that is usually eating with your mouth open. So then he would stop doing that. And he knew that he could not call me when he was eating because it's worse on the phone.
What is it about people who eat loud? They want to call you so you can hear them fucking eat. God, I don't
Yeah.
want to hear you eat. Call me back.
Right.
Like even if you
Yeah.
got like a piece of candy in your mouth, I'd be like, hey, call me back. I don't like hearing that shit. Call me back when you're done.
Right. So after a while, he would just be like, "Okay, I'm about to eat. Let me, I know you don't like that, so I'll call you back." So so it's something like that can be minor, can be.
You're gonna have to have a whole bunch of other traits to overcome that shit. Because I think I don't know how to pronounce it. It's either misophonia or misophonia. It's where like hearing people eat like enrages you. That is me.
Hmm.
That's me all the way. And it's funny because her and I are still cool. And like, last time we talked, she sent me a picture of her and some wedges. And she was like, and I'm popping my gum. And I was just like, I said, well, that's three strikes because she is Scorpio too. So the motherfucker wearing wedges, eat
Hilarious.
loud, and she is Scorpio. So she's out of here. But anyway, you got a would you or would
Oh,
you
I
on
I do
anything?
not.
Okay. You don't have one.
No.
Okay. I got a question.
Okay.
Has somebody ever done or said anything to you after sex that offended you? I'll give you an example.
Hmm.
Friends with benefits, we hanging out. I thought we had a pretty good session, right? And we were on a vacation. So we get done, you get done, you go, do your shower, your wash up thing and shower, whatever. And I come back and this motherfucker on a laptop sending off emails. And I said, well, damn, I thought I put it down. And she was like, what's the problem? I said, if I actually did something good, you wouldn't be sending no goddamn emails right now. And she was just like, I mean, I got to get this stuff done with like, you good. And I was like, that shit kind of offended me though.
I believe I've heard that with some women, orgasms actually energize them instead of drains them. It's different for men and women.
Okay. Anything for you? Anything?
Yeah.
Anybody ever done anything that's offended you or made you mad?
Not that I can think of. Not that anything's coming to me offhand, or not that something that I would have cared, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, not that I can think of.
All right. Okay. Well, since you don't want to ask that question, there's another question I have.
Okay.
Guys with small penises, they call them shrimps, right? Y'all come up with that terminology. I don't know what it is. Has a shrimp ever rocked your world?
No. Um,
Have you ever had your world rocked by a guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Um, there was this one guy I dated, uh, whose penis, let's say that, was a lot smaller than what I'm used to.
Was it,
But
does he watch the show and was it a micro
no,
pain?
he doesn't watch the show. He done. I mean, he's married now and everything. He's yeah.
So did he
Um,
have micro pain or this is
yeah. I mean, yeah. But the sex was fun. So that's what kept me around. I don't know how to explain that. It was fun. Sex with him was fun. But I remember one day afterwards, I was just like, I enjoyed myself, but I'm not satisfied.
how was it fun?
I don't know how to explain it. It just was.
There was a lot of oral.
He was good at oral, but I'm talking even the sex itself was fun because for women, a lot of our nerve endings are is right at the opening. So you don't actually need a lot to get a woman. But so it was fun. I just said, like I said, it was just one day I was just like, I enjoyed myself, but I'm just not like I feel like I need more. It's like if you go to a fancy restaurant and they give you all the little small,
Mhm.
all the
Yeah,
plates are small. You
right.
eat it and it's good. It might be great, but you're still like, but I could use a steak.
Tube steak. Yeah, that's funny. Thank God that's not my testimony. But anyway, tell me where they can find us today.
You can find us at Conversates After Dark everywhere. And if you would like to be a guest on this show or you have a topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at CVAD, the podcast at gmail.com. Make sure you like this video, share it, subscribe, and leave us a comment.
That's right. Go to our website, www.conversateafterdark.com. Listen to our past episodes. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Bye.